Thank you, Mr. Stewart, for coming back to committee. Mr. Stewart, you were the recipient of a May 2021 issues management note from CSIS indicating that Member of Parliament Michael Chong and his family were being targeted by the Beijing regime. That issues management note had been sent to you in your capacity as Deputy Minister of Public Safety, as well as the then Minister of Public Safety, now Minister of National Defense, Bill Blair, as well as his Chief of Staff. Further, you were the recipient of a July 20th, 2021 CSIS intelligence assessment, further indicating that MP Chong, as well as at least two other MPs, were being targeted by the Beijing regime. Despite this, MP Chong was kept in the dark for 2 years, resulting in what is now before this committee upon the Speaker of the House's finding of a prima facie question of privilege. So let me begin with the issues management note. On what date did you read that note?
I am unable to answer that question with specificity. I would tell you that in the river of intelligence that crossed my desk, it could have occurred at any point in time subsequent to when it was written.
The issues management note was not any piece of intelligence information. According to the CSIS director, an IMU is something that is flagged as something of high importance. And so, did you read that note, yes or no, as a starting point?
Again, I do not recollect reading it, but I think I would have because I saw a lot of intelligence.
You would have seen that, and would that have been in May of 2021?
In all likelihood.
Do you have any recollection of briefing Minister Blair about the IMU?
I did not brief Mr. Blair about the IMU.
You did not brief him, and why did you not take it upon yourself to brief Minister Blair?
The intelligence moves in the system through various channels, and one of the channels that it moves through inside the Department of Public Safety is to the minister separately from the deputy minister. And in the context of our discussions with CSIS was when issues management notes are generally raised, not by me.
And the issues management note was sent to Minister Blair directly. And Minister Blair, when he appeared before this committee, made the incredible assertion that the director of CSIS had made, quote, an operational decision, closed quote, not to share the IMU with him, despite the fact that it was sent to the minister via the top secret email network, and Minister Blair didn't see it because he didn't have the login credentials to the top secret email network. But nonetheless, he made the assertion that the director of CSIS had made an operational decision not to inform him. When Mr. Vino, the director of CSIS, appeared before this committee, he flatly said that that wasn't so, that he had every intention of the minister seeing that IMU. In fact, Vino said that I conveyed the information to the Department of Public Safety along with a very specific directive to forward it to the minister. Do you recall or are you aware of any operational decision not to inform Minister Blair?
No.
Okay, thank you for that. Were you aware that Minister Blair did not have access to the top secret email network? Can you explain why after 18 months into the job, Minister Blair would and his chief of staff would not have had their login credentials?
It would not be the fact that in the normal course a minister or their staff would have access to these systems. The access is tightly controlled and generally run by bureaucrats, and the way that the intelligence moved through the department was in paper form. So I would receive briefing binders on a regular basis with the contents of intelligence produced by various systems, because we have more than one.
But the IMU was in this instance sent by email. So, and it was sent to Minister Blair. So can you explain how it is that he didn't see it?
I would not believe that it was sent by email, to be clear. It would have been sent on one of our top secret systems, and it would have been downloaded and printed and then packaged for Minister Blair. And that would have been the normal course.
Okay, I'm going to ask you now about the July 2021 memo from CSIS. On what date did you read that memo?
I'm sorry. Again, I cannot answer with specificity. The volume of intelligence, and I really have to emphasize this point, is very large.
But there is a large volume of intelligence, but this was a matter that is about as serious as it gets, involving the targeting of a sitting member of Parliament, and it was not any memo that was sent. It was an IMU initially in May of 2021, and in July of 2021 followed up with another intelligence memo. Would you at least concede the fact that you cannot recall seeing the latter memo? You thought you read the first one, but you said you didn't talk to the minister about it, and Michael Chong was left in the dark that amounted to a complete breakdown in process as far as what should have happened but didn't happen.
Thank you.
Would you concede that?
I would, my comment on your question, Mr. Cooper, would be that there are many people in Canada who are on an ongoing basis being targeted by foreign interference. And it is not it was not my job to inform them. And there are processes and ways of doing so. And in this instance, I was not tracking what other people were doing.